Ooh, making music videos is easy. We cooking, boy. I might be overdoing that at this point. Not sure if I like it. Yeah, let's delete it. The most important thing to level up as a video editor is trying new things. So in this one, I'm gonna try to create a music video, at least one scene, for the very first time. There's a big chance that it might go horribly wrong, but I have kind of a rough idea of how it's gonna look. So it sorta gives me a little bit of confidence. So without further ado, let's get started with the embarrassing show. Obviously I had to go through some of the videos to find a good fit, and I think I found something pretty cool that could kind of match the style of a music video. So we're gonna just drag it here, and we're not gonna be working with such a high quality. So we're gonna go down to 1920 by 1080, then we're gonna hit enter. Let me just change the name to Sick Music Video. Alright, now I'm gonna right click it, go to transform and fit to comp. I'm not ready. Wait, I was born ready. So for starters, I'm just gonna trim it a little bit because I don't want the whole video. I think this position could be fine. Then I'm gonna hit N on the keyboard. I'm gonna right click, go to trim comp to work area. Alright, so that's what we got. So first thing I would do probably is right clicking and pre-composing that layer. Make sure to move all attributes into the new comp. Let's delete the last part of the text. And yeah, we got something. The first thing I'm gonna add is the 3D camera tracker. And I'm gonna head over to the advanced and check detailed analysis. This is quite important because it will allow us to read all the points on the screen, and that way we'll be able to attach some objects, and they will be kind of following the camera movement. Before we do anything here, one more thing I would do is probably duplicating that layer, deleting the camera, and we need to rotobrush this dude because I kind of want to put something behind him as well. So now we would need to double click the layer, but it will take us to the main video. So for this, I'm gonna right click, go to reveal, actually open and open layer, and from this position we can head over to the rotobrush tool, and I'm just gonna drag the tool through his body. If you alt click, you can deselect. I'm mostly focused on the upper part because I kind of want to create a movement around him. And also something you need to do is making sure that the time indicator over here is on the very first frame. There's a lot of black area that is matching, actually blending in, so it might be really hard for the rotobrush, but we'll see. And now I'm gonna hit the play button over here, and let's pray it works fine. Yeah, it's not gonna work fine. It's actually horrible. Just for the sake of saving time, I'm not gonna try to adjust every single frame. It would take forever. It's just a bad clip for the rotobrush. Now I'm gonna hit freeze. But what I'm seeing here, that part of the body where the elbows are is actually nicely selected. But the problem is with the fingers, it's kind of jumping all over the place here. So if we try to create something around him, it's gonna be rather at the position of the elbows. Now I'm gonna turn off the visibility, go to this, and we're gonna click the effect. And now if we drag the mouse, we're gonna have a lasso tool. So I'm gonna try to select the points on the man. Okay, and I'm gonna right click, go to create solid and camera. And now we got a solid that is attached to the body. So we're just gonna take that solid and move it in between the videos. So now if I turn on the visibility back on, we should have the layer behind him. It's looking pretty good apart from a few errors. But the main idea is not to work with the solid, but with something else. So for this, I'm gonna head over to the project, and I'm gonna open up Motion Essence, go to animations, and I'm just gonna take some of the stuff from here, like Polaroid, Full HD, and let me just take the basic one. I'm gonna drop it on the timeline, go into it, and I'm gonna go into the placeholder, and here I'm gonna paste a logo. You can find it on the internet. Kind of wanna add tints to this, and we're gonna change the white to red. Let's go back. I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna scale it down. Just like that. Now from this, I'm gonna create another pre-comp, so I'm gonna right click, pre-compose, and let's call it cylinder. I'm gonna go into that, and here I'm gonna adjust some composition settings, so I'm gonna hit Ctrl K, and then I'm gonna lower down the height for this. Okay, I'm even gonna scale it down, and we're gonna duplicate it a few more times and put it in random places. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go back, and that's what we got. So for this, we're gonna actually add the effect CC cylinder. I'm gonna actually delete that solid, and as you can see, it's already 3D because this is a 3D effect. So the Polaroids are already attached to his body. And actually, you know what? I've made a mistake because the Polaroids are being cut off over here. So actually we need to go back and go to the composition settings and adjust it again. I'm gonna just bring it back to maybe 1200. And now the thing with the cylinder is that we got the render option over here, and it's selected to full. So if I, for example, take outside, we're just gonna see what's in the front. And then if I take inside, we're just gonna see the back Polaroids. So this is important because once I duplicate that layer and put the inside below our rotobrush video, and then in the first cylinder I'm gonna change it to outside. We're gonna have the back Polaroids behind the body and the front ones in front of it. So just to show it a little bit better, I'm gonna grab these two selected layers upwards, and you're gonna notice that here we got the back Polaroids behind the head. So everything is correct. Let me just make some adjustments. So now since you got a vague idea of how it works, I'm gonna delete the cylinder between the videos. I'm gonna change this one to full, and we need to actually fix something. I'm gonna go back to composition settings, and I'm gonna change the width to, let's say, 3000. And now I'm just gonna extend these Polaroids like that. One more adjustment, I'm gonna go back here, and I feel like we could actually make them more in a line like that, and then we're gonna go back. Yeah, it already looks good. I know it's important to actually adjust everything before we split the render into inside and outside, because later we would have to adjust 2 layers, which would take more time. So as I'm looking at this, I feel like we should actually take the Z position over here and move it more towards the guy and adjust it with X. I might have went overboard, maybe a little less. And then I'm gonna bump up the radius to like 114. Nah, a bit too much. We're gonna change it to 105. And now if we hit the stopwatch for Y rotation and then hit U on the keyboard, we could actually create a spin effect. So if I start increasing the degree, it's just gonna rotate. So that's pretty cool. We could actually maybe go for something like 320. Pretty cool. I'm gonna take it all the way to the back. I'm gonna select them too. Hit F9, go to the graph editor. And I'm gonna select that point, and we're gonna create a mountain on the left. And then we're gonna take the second yellow dot and also squeeze it to the left. Alright, that's really cool, but as you can see, it's cutting our Polaroids a little bit over here. So for this, we need to go back to the cylinder and go to the comp settings and bump up the height again. Okay, let's go back. And now everything seems to be good. Just looking for any errors. I think it's good. We could probably go to X and adjust it a little bit, and also Z. Right now it's perfectly even, but I feel like that rough look was a little bit better. So we're gonna go with Z position at 0. And now I'm gonna go to render and change it to outside. And then I'm gonna duplicate that layer and put it in between videos. And in this one, we're gonna change it to inside. And now as you can see, the Polaroids are spinning perfectly around the subject. I just wonder how it would look if we force motion blur. Jeez, it's gonna take forever. If you got any idea how to add motion blur to the cylinder, I would really appreciate it, because I think the only option is to force motion blur. Alright, it's sick with motion blur. It's looking really good. I'll probably shift edge a little bit for the character, because I can see that there are some minor errors, but in general it looks so good. We're gonna make some adjustments so it's gonna look a little bit better. I'm just gonna rename this, and for now I'm gonna turn it off so we can work with this, because otherwise we would wait forever to render one frame. And now I feel like we could use one of the techniques I showed you in one of the episodes, which is basically creating an adjustment layer, trimming it to one frame, then adding Gaussian blur. We're gonna change it to horizontal, bump up the blurriness, duplicate it, put it here. And then we're gonna change it to vertical and bump up the blurriness even more. So we should have such an effect for now. And we could actually use an invert here. Ooh, it's looking good. Maybe horizontal. That's a really nice flash. Then what do we do from now? Maybe let's add transform. We're gonna kind of zoom in. Okay. And from here, we're gonna go back. Ooh! If you need a music video editor, you know where to come. Bruh, like, that's this effect. What do we, what else do we do? Damn, I don't know. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the effects and just look for something. Ooh, chromatic aberration. Okay, let's create a new adjustment layer, and we're gonna add chromatic aberration, but from universe. Damn, making music videos is easy. Wait up, we need some adjustments here. Okay, I don't like the green. Yeah, that's much better. Like I told you in one of the episodes, red and blue look the best. Okay, we're gonna add it for 3 frames, and then we're gonna duplicate one of those and put it behind. We'd probably need to add transform to this and bump up the scale. And we're gonna do pretty much the same as before. We're just gonna change it to vertical, maybe bump up the blurriness. Okay, and here I'm gonna add invert. We need to adjust the timing. From now on, I would probably add black and white. But you know what? I got an idea, but it's gonna be a bit time consuming. But before that, I'm gonna just rename them all so we know what's going on. Alright, so the main idea is to add black and white to everything apart from the Polaroids. So for this, I'm gonna just copy this effect, and we basically need to do some trimming here. So I'm gonna go to the video, hit Ctrl-Shift-D, and the same for the bottom one. And here we're gonna add the black and white here as well. And then we can delete that effect. Let's go! That's looking good. And another idea is to add deep glow to the Polaroids. So for this, we need to also trim the cylinder, trim it here, add deep glow, and we're gonna bump up the amount, actually the exposure, and also the radius. And we're gonna head over to the aspect ratio, change it to 2, and then I'm gonna copy that effect and paste it into other cylinder. Nice. Maybe also add curves. We're gonna add it here as well, before and after. And maybe let's add a little bit of blur to the video and the background. So we're gonna go for a Gaussian blur. Let's bump it up. And then we're gonna copy that effect and paste it into the other one. Maybe only for the character. I might be overdoing that at this point. And here on top, we're gonna actually add another adjustment layer, which is gonna be called scatter/blur. And we're gonna add scatter, bump it up to around 10. And then we're gonna add Gaussian blur. Actually put it above the scatter, and let's change it to 25. Now I'm gonna use the mask, the ellipse tool actually, and with that layer selected, I'm gonna double click the icon. I'm gonna head over here, invert, and we're gonna head over also to the feather. Okay, just an idea, maybe let's add invert to our subject. It's not looking bad. Kinda like it. Problem is that the roto brush has done a horrible job here, so maybe let's just trim it here, and we're gonna delete the invert from this and only leave it for 1 frame. It's kind of slow. What if we scaled it up? Not sure if I like it. Yeah, let's delete it. Okay, for now I'm gonna just turn on the motion blur. So for now that's the entire timeline. Maybe I would probably just trim it somewhere here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like it is. Thanks a lot for watching me making a music video for the first time. It was a lot of fun, to be honest. But wait up, we need some rap music over here. We cooking, boy. Okay. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up here. I'm kind of envious of the video editors who are making music videos. It was a pretty cool thing, especially that I was doing something like that for the first time. And the Polaroids I used in the video you can find in the description. And that's pretty much it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys.